So you want to main Cerberus. Hades doggo, Cerberus, Warden of the Underworld. Cerberus is now free to hunt in the world of living, eager to drag everyone back down to hell. First, ask yourself, why do you want to main Cerberus? As well as a support, he's fun in solo. He has sustainability which some supports don't have, he can do damage, and he's a good boy. In this guide, we're going to explore Cerberus both as a solo and a support, with his abilities, combos, builds, counters, and what not to do's. Let's get into Cerberus abilities. Cerberus's passive, Spirit of Death. Anytime an enemy close to Cerberus is healed, that healing is reduced by 20%, and Cerberus receives 40% of the heal. So to go into that a little bit, Cerberus's passive is an anti-heal. So for example, if Aphrodite or Sylvanas heal allies or themselves when close to you, you will reduce the heal by 20% and receive 40% of the heal. Cerberus's first ability, Paralyzing Spit. Cerberus's one is a projectile ability type. Cerberus's tail spits venom that passes through and damages enemies. You'll see that down in the left corner here. We'll add a stun to the ability. This was a bit confusing for me, and in the past people have complained that the stun is a bit tricky to land. I will go further about this ability in the combo section and show you how to effectively use it. To stack his head for a stun, all you have to do is basic attack an enemy 3 times or it will be instantly stacked upon using your 2 or your ultimate. Leveling this ability increases the stun duration up to a maximum of 2.2 seconds and the damage increase up to a maximum of 170 plus 20% of your magical power. This ability is his strongest CC after his ultimate. In my opinion, his CC is too unreliable compared to other supports, so this is one of the biggest reasons why I think he's better played as a solo rather than a support. Cerberus' second ability, Ghastly Breath. Cerberus' 2 is a cone ability type. This is a loaded ability and honestly one of my favorite abilities. Each of Cerberus' head releases a cone of noxious breath in front of them, damaging all enemies in range 7 times over 2.4 seconds. His 2 does the following. Does tick damage up to a maximum of 60 plus 12.5% of your magical power, reduces protections up to a maximum of 14, slows the enemy up to a maximum of 12% per tick, the slow duration is 2 seconds, and instantly stack his heads. This ability is super strong, it has tremendous amounts of effects on the enemy and also benefits you with the instant stack heads, so you can follow it up with his 1. I also find that it does pretty decent damage as well. This ability is great to use in engagements and for chasing. Cerberus' third ability, Soul Expulsion. Cerberus' 3 is a leap. He leaps a short distance forward, dealing damage on impact. Jumping on enemies causes their soul to emerge. These souls will not block Cerberus' attack, and killing the souls heal Cerberus. The leap does damage up to a maximum of 220 plus 60% of your magical power. If you jump on minions, the minions will give you a heal of up to 55 plus 25% of your magical power. Jumping on enemy guards will give you a heal of up to 110 plus 25% of your magical power. Cerberus' 3 is quite a unique leap. Because of the effects, it makes you not want to use it as an escape. In my opinion, you can play Cerberus less safe. Of course, don't just go jumping around close to enemy towers without wards and without knowing where the enemy jungler is. His 3 offers great sustain in lanes. You can jump on the minions and proceed to use your 1 or 2 to receive health back. Of course, this ability is also Cerberus' escape, so the risk will always be there when using his 3 for sustain. Just make sure you ward up and you'll have fun killing little blue souls running after you. Cerberus' ultimate, Stygian Torment. Cerberus' ultimate is an area ability type. He knocks up all enemy guards into the air, damaging them. Cerberus can drag them to a spot of his liking that he can reach. Cerberus' ultimate is pretty fun to use. It somehow feels like you're playing fetch as you drag them back to your teammates, but be careful not to drag them to teammates who are trying to run away or are low on health. I'm a bit guilty of this one.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg and my arm.
But I've learnt my lesson and I'm currently repenting. Cerberus does damage up to a maximum of 440 plus 55% of your magical power, and the cooldown is reduced starting from 115 seconds up to 95 seconds, so 5 seconds reduced per level. For leveling abilities, I didn't find much difference between solo and support. I think it's much up to preference. I personally love leveling his abilities this way. For solo, 2 for the effects on enemies, damage and setup, 1 for the stun and damage, 4 for the setup, damage and cooldown reduction, 3 for the heal and sustain. So basically 2, 1, 4, 3. For support, I just changed it around a bit and I put the 4 first 4 for the setup and cooldown reduction. So basically 4, 2, 1, and 3. You can choose between the 2 and 1 for which you want to level up first. 2 if you want more effects on the enemies. This creates better setup for your allies and yourself. 1 if you want increased stun duration and damage. The increased stun duration is better for supports if you want to go with the 1 first. Now let's get into the combos. For short combos, 2, 1, 3, 2, or 3, 1 for the heals. Full combos, 3 if the enemy is far away, followed by 4, 1, 2. Reason for using our 1 here first is that enemies who do get pulled by you will usually jump away or try to escape. So if you can stun the enemy before doing so, it will give time for your teammates to damage or kill them. If you're too close, the orbs won't meet, therefore not stunning the enemy. In this case, do not walk up to the enemy straight away and use your 1. Use it from your position or move back just a little bit to have your orbs meet. Remember, to stun with Cerberus' 1, you need to have his head stacked from either 3 basic attacks or using his 2 or 4. You will stun if you hit them from far range. The stun will activate when the 3 orbs meet. If you're too close, the orbs will not meet, therefore not stunning. I will show you here. I also suggest not using a 1 and 2 combo for a short combo. You can if you like, but 2 and 1 is much better because you will have applied effects of the 2 to make the 1 more effective and any other ability after that. There are not many combos with Cerberus. In this regard, he has a pretty easy time in my opinion. I find that his kit is pretty straightforward. Now let's get into the builds. For solo and support builds, it always depends who you're up against. For solo, if you're versing a physical enemy, the base build I would go is Warrior's Blessing, CDR Boots, and Breastplate of Valor. If you're versing a magical enemy, the base build I would go is Warrior's Blessing, CDR Boots, and Genji's Guard. Items that are commonly built for him, depending on enemy gods you're versing as well, are Voidstone, Midgardian Mail, and Magi's Cloak. For support, if you've seen my Ares video, I've stated that support builds really depend on what enemy teams you're versing, but for a core start, you can go Guardian's Blessing, CDR Boots, and Sovereignty. After that, it'll be very situational. I'm thinking of making a video about support items and what they do so you know which items to buy versing what you're up against. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in something like that. Counters for Cerberus. Cerberus is countered by Beads and Magi's Cloak, and Wing Blade also counters his 2 by countering his slows. What not to do as Cerberus. In team fights, do not leap in there without your allies. You will more likely die. Be aware of where you ult your enemies to. Some Cerberuses will drag them towards allies who are trying to escape and have low health. Enemies will use this to their advantage. Instead, you can drag enemies away from allies who are trying to escape to safety. When you are low health and you want to use your 3 to get health back, I recommend letting minions come into your tower and using the sustain combo there, since you'll have the protection of the tower. Trying to get his 3's benefits outside of tower on low health is very risky, and most likely enemies will engage on that if they're around. And that is all for the Cerberus guide. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have any other suggestions on what I could add to the guide, let me know as well. Feel free to subscribe and click the bell if you found this helpful. I'll be making one for every guide. Any comments and likes would be super rad. I hope to see you for the next one. Bye!